Hello and welcome back. Today is Wednesday, April 9th. I have your 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. We get another massive 10-game NBA slate. Back-to-back huge slates. We are game 79 and 78 and some 80 games on the season this year. Big season. We're right at the end of the year here overall, and in the wild west here, it is still coming down to it in the Western Conference. Some massive games here in the West. Eastern Conference, there's a lot of tank games going on here today. Well, a nice little play-in game here potential. Overall, fun slate here. Just going to do what I normally do overall, rattle between all the plays here. Starting off with our first game here in Philly versus Washington. This is the ultimate tank commanding game to kick off our day. 227 over under Philly, 1 point favorite. I think neither team wants to win this matchup here, but that game is going to be a ton of fun. I would maybe Quentin Grimes in that matchup. I think he would ball out. But I don't really trust either team. Both of these teams are going to do a good job on tanking. Nice little tank-off matchup here overall. We get Boston versus Orlando. This is a fun matchup, 209. One of the lower over-unders on the day. I think the lowest over-under on the day. Orlando, a 5-point favorite here. This game doesn't mean as much for Boston. This is more just like a tune-up. If you want to play good competition, this is a good matchup here. But Orlando, they need this. They're currently the 7th seed. They want to keep distancing themselves from the Hawks, Bulls, and Heat. They need to continue to win here. That's why they're the 5-point favorite here at home. I think Orlando's going to try very hard here. They're on a back-to-back. So is Boston here. So Boston might see a lot of injury in news going into that matchup. So definitely keep your eye out for that game overall. Best game on the slate, probably the most fun the crowd was going to be. Lakers versus Dallas. Luka Doncic returning to Dallas. This game is going to be incredible. ESPN, the hype for this game is going to be awesome. You could just tell by looking at the sports book. All these lines are even higher than normal. Crazy game. Atmosphere is going to be incredible. I cannot wait for this game. And this game means a lot. 3 seed versus the 10th seed. This game doesn't, maybe not for Dallas. Dallas is pretty much solidified as the 10th seed, unless the Suns come out of nowhere, but the Mavs are pretty much the 10th seed, so maybe they might hold off a little back here since their season is really not in the line. But the Lakers, they really need this one. The West is wild west. The 4th through the 8th seed are all very close with each other, so this is a massive game. And the Lakers are still trying to catch up to Houston. They have a shot for the 2nd seed. I doubt they'll get it, but they still have an opportunity. We get Charlotte versus Toronto. Tank commanding game. Nice little mix of tank commanding games today. Neither team is probably going to win. Toronto's probably going to do their best, but they are the 9-point favorite here at home, 219. That's an ultimate tank commanding game overall. Miami versus Chicago. This is your NBA play-in preview right here. 226 over under. Miami, 1-point favorite. Both of these teams did strategic rest players yesterday before this matchup here. This game is going to be a ton of fun. 36 and 43 versus 36 and 43. Both teams are right behind Atlanta, so this game means a lot for both of these teams. It's to host a play-in game as well, so massive game here for both of these teams. Portland versus Utah, that game is the ultimate tank commanding game as well. 229 over under. Portland, 6-point favorite. Portland, as I've been saying, is probably my favorite tank team, so they're probably going to steamroll the Jazz here because the Jazz, they're trying to tank for Cooper Flag here overall. Denver versus Sacramento. Holy crap. Michael Malone getting fired right before this game is insane on ESPN. That game is going to be very interesting. This is the 5th seed versus the 9th seed here. Sacramento's pretty much locked in to the 9th seed here overall. Where Denver, they're battling for the Wild West. They're the 5th seed, the 4th seed through the 8th seed. They're going to be trying real hard. I can't believe they fired Mike Malone. It's one of those he's a really good coach. I think good coaches in the NBA, Mike Malone, he's always good on the mic. I always love what he does with in-game adjustments. That one was crazy. I guess, yeah, if you want to keep Jokic around, hey, Jokic, if you want to come to Chicago, we had Arlington Heights. That was a horse track. You can go to Joe's on Weed Street if you're in Chicago. You know where that is. You could gamble on horses and smoke inside. Come on, Joe's on Weed. You would love Chicago, Jokic. That's my little sales pitch for him. Fun game, 236 over under. Sacramento's been playing fun. DeMar and Zach LaVine have been a ton of fun. The firing of the head coach, a lot of interesting narratives into that matchup. The Spurs versus Golden State is the next game on the slate. Biggest spread on the slate. Golden State's probably going to steamroll them, and San Antonio will just say thank you for letting me lose. OKC versus Phoenix. This game's going to be a bloodbath. The Suns are horrible. They just can't play defense outside of Devin Booker overall. He's the only limelight of that game. And OKC, I think they're just going to steamroll the Suns here. And then Houston versus the Clippers. This game's a ton of fun as well. The 2nd seed versus the 4th seed. Wild that the Clippers are the 4th seed. If you would have asked me what seed they would be, I probably would have thought they would be in that play-in. But weirdly enough, they're the 4th seed. 219 over under, 7-point favorite for the Clippers. This game means a lot for both of these teams as well. Massive 10-game slate here. Got 4 player prop plays that I absolutely love. And before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action. And yesterday in the NBA, ended up going 2-2 in best bets yesterday. Josh O in the comment section, you had Kawhi Leonard points, rebounds. He got ruled out right before tip, so that one killed that in the comment section. So we got that back overall. Devin Booker, just going to get the bad out of the way. Devin Booker, he had an incredible first half. He might be just a first half player prop play for the remainder of the season because he didn't play. He didn't shoot as many shots. He had 21 points in the first half, finished the game at 21 points. He did not play at all in the fourth quarter. He didn't take as many, missing a ton of shots. It was bad overall. Anthony Edwards, man, that one hurt a lot. He had 24 points going into the fourth quarter. He took so many ignorant threes in that game. I know he was trying to cash the over in one shot for us, but man, oh man, I would have loved it for him to drive in the lane. Gets the technical foul free throws, gets to 25 plus points, but again, missed every shot. Didn't take a final shot for the final minute 30 seconds. It was all Dante DiVincenzo. Late overall, that one hurt a lot because that would have been a 3-1 day overall. I was mad about that. Evan Mobley, he took care of business. That game was a ton of fun. Paolo Banchero, he balled the fuck out. It took way later than I thought. He had a massive game overall. Paolo might be a must bet against Orlando going forward. But 2-2 day yesterday. But today's a new day. I want a 4-0 sweep here. And let's just jump into it. For my first play of the day, going to be in this Miami-Chicago matchup. This is an NBA play-in preview. This game matters. Both teams rested players, 36-43 versus 36-43. This game means a lot for both of these teams. And Joshua Giddey has been a monster all year overall. And I think this is a great spot. We have a great number again. The same number as last time. So give me Josh Giddey to go over 35.5 points, rebounds, assists, coming at -110 on DraftKings. He has a great matchup here. The Miami Heat allowed the 7th most points and the 4th most threes to the point guard position. The Miami Heat, these last 15 games, allowed the 6th most points and the 6th most threes to the point guard position. So he has an overall great spot here overall. I keep saying overall. He's gotten us over 2 for his last 2 against the Heat, averaging 42 points, rebounds, assists. With the last 2 games, him getting 36 and 48 PRAs. He's dominated this matchup. He had a triple-double the last time he played against them. He's gotten us over 8 for his last 10 games, averaging 38.9 points, rebounds, assists. So I love the overall consistency we've been getting from Giddey this season. At home, he's gotten us over 4 for his last 5, averaging 39 points, rebounds, assists. With his last 5 home games, him getting 43, 50, 20, 36, and 46 in his last 5 home games. With no Ayo and Lonzo in the lineup, he has a 77% hit rate this season, averaging 39.4 PRA. So I love the overall numbers we're getting here. Point guards against Miami have had some dominant performances. Quentin Grimes, 43. Ja Morant, 38. Scottie Pippen. Pimpin' ain't easy. He had 25. Derek White, 26. Carlton Carrington, 25. Jared Butler, not Gerard Butler or Jimmy Butler, Jared Butler, 31. Trae Young, Ice Trae, had 43. And Fred VanVleet had 40 PRAs. I have Josh projected at 38 PRAs here. I think this game's going to be a ton of fun. Meaningful basketball here. Lead me to the promised land, Josh Giddey. So give me the Giddler, Josh Giddey, to go over 35.5 points, rebounds, assists, coming in -110 on DraftKings. Jumping into my second play of the day, going to be in this Lakers-Mavs matchup. You have to do a Luka or AD play. Come on, you're American. You got to make a play here in this matchup here. And I think I found a spot in this Luka Doncic, everything being moved up way higher than normal. Point total, I would have loved for this if it was like at 26, 27, or 28, but it's at 31 already. His assists, I was going to do rebounds, assists. That number's very high here, but I think we got a great number here. I wanted to do first quarter points. If you see 8.5 first quarter points, I think that's a great number here, but I think I found one here overall, and that's Luka Doncic over, I didn't do it, Luka Doncic to go over 3.5 threes, coming in -135 on DraftKings. 3.5 threes For Luka, he's gotten this over 6 for his last 10 games, averaging 3.7 threes. Last time he played the Mavs, he shot 1 for 7 from downtown. He took a lot of shots overall. These last 5 games overall, the Dallas Mavericks ranked 21st in straightaway threes, and that's where Luka Doncic takes 38% of his shots. So he's a good 2K hot zone going into this matchup here. Like I said, he shot 1 for 7 from 3 for the last game. He was chucking up a bunch. I think today he's going to go back the other way. Last night, he could have easily gone over 7 for his last 10 games, but last night, he got ejected right at the 3 threes marked overall. These last 10 games, he's averaging 10 3-point attempts per game, so love the volume that we're getting from behind the arc from Luka. Like I said yesterday, got ejected and finished 3 for 7. Could have easily shot 4 threes in that game overall, in that matchup. Point guards have been making it rain in Dallas. D'Lo had 4. Krejci totally butchered that. The Atlanta Hawks backup point guard had 3. Corey Joseph, 2. Cade Cunningham had 2. Andrew Nembhard had 2. Dennis the Menace had 2. 64% hit rate going to point guards these last 10 games from beyond the arc. I have him projected at 4 threes in this game here. 6 for his last 10 overall. Last game shot 1 for 7. I don't think he's going to shoot poorly in here in Dallas. Dallas ranks 21st in straightaway threes, so give me Luka Doncic to go over 3.5 threes, coming in at minus 135 on DraftKings. Jumping into my third play of the day, going to be in this Denver Nuggets Kings matchup here. This game means a lot for both of these teams overall. Zach LaVine has been balling out these last 3 games. I think we said a month and a half ago we're banning Zach LaVine. The ban is out. The ban is back. Unbanned or on that. We want our money back from earlier. We can't ban a guy for him to never give us our cash back later in the season. So Zach LaVine, we need a hero. So give me Zachary LaVine to go over 21.5 points, coming in at minus 120 on DraftKings. He has one of the best matchups in this game. Denver allows the 10th most points to the shooting guard position. Denver, these last 15 games, allowed the 2nd most points and the 6th most threes to the shooting guard position. In Denver, these last 7 games, allowed the 3rd most points and the 9th most threes to the shooting guard position. And Zach LaVine, he's yet to get this over against Dallas versus the Nuggets. 0 for his last 2, but he had 21 and 20 in his last 2 games, so very nice consistency. And why I think today is going to be any different is in those 2 games, he shot 13 times and 16 times in those first 2 games. These last 10 games overall, he's averaging 17 field goal attempts per game. So he wasn't even shooting his normal volume. And these last 3 games, he's had even higher volume. 19 shots, 21 shots, and 28 shots in these last 3 games. Love the shot attempts from him. So he's taking more shots than he was back when he first played these 2 teams. Last 3 games, he's been balling out 25, 37, and 43. And when you make 3 in a row, you're heating up and you're on fire. Today is your on fire game against Denver. I have him projected at 25 plus points here, so we get a nice 3.5 point cushion. And shooting guards against Denver have had big games. Andrew Nembhard, 19. Brandon Podzinski, 26. Nickeil Alexander-Walker at 26. Ant, 34. Johnny Juzang, 10. Sexland, 20. Gary Trent Jr., 16. Kobe White, the best player in the league, 37. Jalen Green, 30. And Shaedon Sharpe had 23 in this matchup here. Denver's really struggling against the shooting guard position here. 235 over under. Close spread. This game means a lot. I have him projected at 25 plus points. 3 straight on fire games here. Come on, Zach. Make it 4 straight. So give me Zach LaVine to go over 21.5 points, coming in minus 120 on DraftKings. And jumping in my 4th and final play of the day, going to be in this Houston Rockets-Clippers matchup here. This man didn't play yesterday, but I think today he's had great consistency of getting this over against Houston. He's playing today with 3 days of rest, so give me Kawhi Leonard, the Claw, Mr. Fun Guy, to go over 22.5 points, coming in minus 110 on DraftKings. He's got this over 8 for his last 10 games, averaging 26 points per game. So love the overall consistency we're getting from Kawhi these last 10 games. 3 for his last 3 against Houston. Granted, it all was last year pretty much, but he's averaging 28 points per game with the last 3, him scoring 30, 26, and 28 versus Houston overall. He's got this over 7 for his last 10 home games, averaging 24.3 points per game. Overall, coming in this matchup, 3 days of rest. The last time he came into a game with 3 days of rest, he dropped 25 plus points in this matchup, and this game means a lot for both of these teams. This is a big playoff seeding game here, and I think Kawhi Leonard is going to step it up in this big-time game. Last 5 home games, he scored 23, 25, 28, 20, and 29 in his last 5 home games here, and is at home in this matchup, averaging 18 field goal attempts per game, which I love that, with 4 straight 17-plus shot games. So love the consistency from that we're getting from shooting-wise from Kawhi. We just need these to be buckets overall. And power forwards versus H-Town have had big games. Chet Holmgren, 20. Dorian Finney-Smith had 20. Kyle Filipowski, 16. And Paolo Banchero, 31. So they've kind of struggled with the athletic power forward here. I've been projected at 25-plus points here, so we get a nice 2-point cushion overall. So give me Kawhi, the Claw, Leonard to go over 22.5 points, coming in at minus 110 on DraftKings. And those are my 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. Going to rattle them all off for you again. Kawhi over 22, Zach LaVine over 21, Luka Doncic over 3.5 threes, and Josh the Giddler to kick off our day over 35.5 points, rebounds, assists. Massive 10-game slate. Let me know down below, what's your favorite play in the NBA? Love tailing you guys in the comment section. While you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe. It lets me know you like the content. Massive 10-game slate. We're at that final push of the year. These games matter, which is awesome, because I would hate for a lot of these teams to be solidified their spot and they're just resting players. So fun time of the year. Hopefully having a wonderful day. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one.